DejaVu FM.
You're listening to the soulful sound of DJ.
There we go. I can hear it.
Join Seb Green as he will be kicking off the night with an electrifying DJ set at the Distraction Party, January 20th at Basing House. Be there early to catch his performance and stay for an unforgettable night of music and dance. Get your tickets now. Link in the description below. Spread the word and let's make this night one to remember. See you on January 20th at Basing House.
DejaVuFM. Music with meaning and healing. Hey, we got DJ Seb Green in the building, guys. What?
will be kicking off the night with an electrifying DJ set at the Distraction Party, January 20th at Basing House. Be there early to catch his performance and stay for an unforgettable night of music and dance. Get your tickets now. Link in the description below. Spread the word and let's make this night one to remember. See you on January 20th at Basing House.
Shaya Baba Shaya. happiness, love, peace, 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 happiness, love, peace,
electrifying DJ set at the Distraction Party, January 20th at Basing House. Be there early to catch his performance and stay for an unforgettable night of music and dance. Get your tickets now. Link in the description below. Spread the word and let's make this night one to remember. See you on January 20th at Basing House.
Hey guys, welcome to Music with Meaning and Healing with myself, Kuda London, and my co-host, MSG. Woo! So today we have an amazing show in store for you. We have somebody joining us today that we're going to be interviewing. Elixir. Ooh, I love that name. But first we're going to get into our first track. This is Baby Blues, the Love Unlimited Orchestra. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday afternoon. By the way, we have an event next Saturday. We are going to be saluting our ladies. Myself and MSG will be hosting the event. And yeah, it's going to be vibes. All of the money that we raise is going to go to charity. But without further ado, let's get into some tunes. We ready? Let's go. While waiting for that to load, I want to shout out Deluxe, Lyndon, Auntie Deja in the chat. We have a special guest joining us today. We're having some technical difficulties in the studio, so just bear with us, guys. There we go.
Like the way you might say a word, the way you wear your hair, you have a certain smile on your face. Or just the way you're standing there right now.
I don't know if you guys can see, but we've got Miss Elixir and DJ Seb doing some slow dancing for us today. It's the vibes at Deja Vu today.
Oh my, we are having a good time in the studio. Woo! So we had a mix from Seb Green this afternoon on Music with Meaning and Healing. He was shutting it down with a house and amapiano vibes in Deja Vu studio this afternoon, Saturday, 1 till 3, every Saturday, Music with Meaning and Healing with myself, MSG, and
Kuda London.
Yeah. So today we have a very interesting and exciting guest in the studio today. Her name is Elixir, and it's interesting because it was because of Seb Green coming in for his interview and mix the last time he was here. He did mention that he knew a lady, a lovely lady at that, who would be a very suitable candidate for our show. Now, I am into numerology, angel numbers, and that's something that we can both resonate with and relate to, but there's just so much more to get into as well. So firstly, Elixir, if you could just give us a little insight into who you are, where you've come from today, and yeah, just touch on what it is that you're bringing to the studio today.
Absolutely. Well, Elixir, for those who know me from a previous life, such as Mr. Seb Green, I used to do music. I still do, but in a different context. And in that stage of my life, I was in a band called Tomorrow's Elixir. Oh, so I was the lead, of course.
Obviously.
And with that being said, Elixir was just the name that stuck, you know, around the studio and around the game. So, but Miss Montana is what I'm widely known as of today. My full name being Rio Montana, that's my first name. So But
Beautiful name, by the way.
Thank you very much. My mum knew what she was doing. She got that right. She got that right. So yeah, I've come from Southwest London today. London traffic, amazing as always. But do you know what? I have to say on air, your hosts, MSG and Kuda, they're wonderful. They're absolutely delightful. Considering I never met MSG in person, she's such a fresh breath of fresh air. Let me get my English straight. No, she was. You're so pleasant, and delightful. And it's very tricky sometimes to build that bond remotely, and you did that so well. You were so palatable and diplomatic, even despite my late ass. So good. I appreciate that. But it's lovely to meet you girls. You're wonderful.
So lovely to have you on our show.
Yeah. So I heard a little bit about yourself, and I also wanted to get into your condition that you have, and you live with this. It's something called MS. If you could explain a little bit more about what it is and how it does impact you on your day-to-day life.
Sure. Cool-wee. This is the
Straight
first
into
time.
it.
I know. Let's go. She'll give me tequila or something, but no foreplay, nothing. But MS, oh Lord have mercy. Do you know what it is? It's the first time I've actually spoken about it in such a landscape. It's one of those things, it's tricky for me because I know it's something I need to sit with a therapist with because I didn't have time to digest it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I tell you how it happened, it's so bizarre. So basically 2 years ago, I was wheelchair bound.
Wow.
Yeah. Even walking today is a psychological effort. I'm obviously, being able to make my strides. So I thank God I've made that progress.
Yeah.
But that definitely wasn't overnight. It was a constant effort every single day. It was a committed effort every single day. I would go out and do jumping squats. Why am I doing jumping squats? I have no idea. I've never done a jumping squat in my life. But it was the only thing I had control over. Because literally I would be walking like, what's that Terminator guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah.
Really?
I would have to drag my other leg. That's how ridiculous it was. So
Was this before you were diagnosed?
no. So this was
Okay.
after the diagnosis.
Okay.
So backtrack a little bit. 2 years ago now, I used to work out. So I used to run every other day. I've typically been mostly fit. Even if I took a break, I would get back on it and go ham. I'm that way inclined. And that being said, I was noticing my energy was low. This was, bear in mind, COVID had just happened. So 2 years of COVID. I actually caught bloody COVID. I don't, it's controversial. Some people have their way of feeling about it. I took it like a flu. It was just an artificial flu in the way it hit. But that being said, recovered from that. But my body just wasn't restored. My energy was just slumped. I'm thinking, what is going on? I never go to the doctors. I don't complain about stuff. If I get a flu in the household I grew up in, it's a 48-hour flu. You get up and you keep going.
Yeah.
We don't have time to be sick. That was the mindset and the ideology I was raised on. So we just keep it pushing. That being said, this wasn't something I could push past. So I'm noticing I'm going for a run. I have to shorten the route I usually take. I'll maybe run about a mile, but I have to shorten it because I'm out of breath. My body's feeling sluggish. Then I'll go to the lake and I would do like a mini workout, like skipping or something of that nature. I could not lift my body.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, this is not right. And I've always dotted between anemia, and bounce back. I've just never really acknowledged it and never been intentional in making sure I sustain reasonable levels. That being said, there was just a constant deterioration. Went to the park one day, did my workout. I had to do the short version. I went to go and sit on a bench. Someone had to bring me back around because I passed out. I said, okay, something's actually up. Cool. So the lady, bless her, she was putting her child. She said, do you want me to call the ambulance? I said, no, it's cool. Went back home just thinking, I don't even know what I thought. I'm just used to shrugging things off and pressing on. I didn't really register it. So it was only a few days later, one of my dear friends, Sam, shout out to Sam if you're listening, he called me, and he's one of those, I have like brothers and, you know, friends that are just like, I'm pulling up, that's it, you know, no notice, those kind of people, you know, you're really tight with. So that's basically what he said that day. And I'm like, Sam, no, you know, you don't understand. I'm really going through it. So I knew I couldn't host him, and I like giving people good energy, you know, and giving my best. So I couldn't do that. And I said, you know, you're gonna have to come another day. He's like, no, I'm coming round. He's very persistent. He's like the male version of myself. He's very persistent. He doesn't stop. I'm like, no, Sam, seriously. Lo and behold, I lay down and the room starts spinning. Like you're on, you know those merry-go-rounds in the kids' park? Yeah. Like someone just won't stop doing it. And I couldn't stop the spinning to the point I had to crawl. I live on like the top floor. It's like, my house is like 4 floors, staircases. But I live on the top floor, and then the next staircase down, it's the only way you can access like the main house. So I had to crawl because I couldn't stabilize on my feet. And I was throwing up consistently for about 4 days. And I'm like, this is not food poisoning. Like, what's happening? And I'm very in tune with my body. So I couldn't connect the dots as to what this could possibly be. Anyway, lo and behold, it was D-Day where he was like, he's coming. I said no. Anyway, I was throwing up, room spinning. I called him and I'm like, do you know what? I'm probably going to see you sooner rather than later. He's like, what's up? And he did medicine in the past, you know, he's an entrepreneur now, runs an incredible company in education. But yeah, so I said to him, yeah, you're going to have to pull up, because I was speaking to 111. They're giving me the Spanish Inquisition. I'm like, I think I'm dying. You know, I don't have time for an interview. Are you kidding me? So he said, call 999. I said, I called 999. They came. Because I wasn't bleeding externally, there was no visible symptoms or anything. They didn't respond to it in that way. So they said they'll call, I think, their cab service or something to come. Cab service, 20 minutes. Cab service, 30 minutes. Cab service, 40 minutes. No one's there. Sam, you're going to have to come. He's like, cool, I'll be there. He was there in like 10, 15 minutes, you know, just came immediately. Anyway, lo and behold, took me to the hospital. They're running all these tests, putting things in my eyes and what. It was the furthest thing from my imagination. I didn't even think I'd have to be in there overnight. Are you kidding me? I never have been. I can't remember the last time I was in hospital overnight, you know? Anyway, lo and behold, they kept me in. That night, they ran MRIs. They ran some other scans or whatnot. They took me up to the stroke ward. I said, which was a wonderful experience. I have one man on one side of me complain about his bowels that he needs to, can we? Yeah. That he needs to shit, basically. Oh. Pardon my French. But yeah, shouting throughout the whole night. I'm like, is this my life right now? Like, what's going on? So I was kept in there for the whole night. Sam's with me the whole time till they had to, you know, tell him to go. Yeah, he was just incredible, you know. And the next day they ran some more MRI tests. Took me to another ward, which was like for like the brain, the neurology ward. I said, cool. From there, I had some doctors coming up to me, asking me if I know what's what. I said, yeah, I don't recognize any of these medical terms because I'm not a medical person and I don't really have any interest in that stuff. Anyway, lo and behold, fast forward, after all of the scans, sent me away. It was about 2 or 3 weeks. I got a letter to go to the specialized hospital, and my doctor, Dr. Blaine, shout out to Dr. Blaine, she was asking me questions like, did anyone say anything to you? Did they mention this? Did they mention that? Did they mention multiple sclerosis? I said, yeah, they did mention that. She was like, that's what it is. Wow. I said, I couldn't take it in.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. I've had a friend that had suffered with it her whole life, which is, crazy. But what it taught me is that you never know what's what till you need to know what's what, you know? She always like said it, but I never had any reason to research it. And she never showcased anything outwardly to show she was, you know. debilitated or uncomfortable. She was a soldier through it. So I didn't know the severity of what she was dealing with, the pain, unless I was on the phone to her and she was like, yeah, I just had to take like 4 days out because X, Y, and Z. But that was as far as it went. It was nothing I registered. And the hospital was in Roehampton. I don't know if you guys know where Roehampton is. And I said to myself, okay, I know it's serious because all the I have like a dark satire. All the jokes I'm cracking, she's not playing with me. she's not here for those games today, you know? So I knew it was serious. And I'm like, okay. So I asked her a few questions, but the rest was white noise. And I said, you know what? By the time you get home, I said to myself, you're going to walk home. Walking home, that looked like about a 4-hour walk. I said, by the time you get home, you need to have more than this, you know? You need to have more than this, because it didn't matter whether she told me I had cancer, diabetes, arthritis, you're still going to have to deal with it the same way. It's one and the same thing to me. So that's what I did. It ended up being a 6-hour walk because I stopped at a music shop, listened to records as I do, and then stopped at the park. And I was like, I'm not really feeling any emotion yet. Maybe I just don't really understand what's going on.
Be in shock.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, are you saying this to me? Like this?
Yeah, it's like you're having a third person experience.
Absolutely. So by the time I got home, my junior brother, my youngest brother, he's asking me, because he was home from uni at the time, he's asking me, you know, what the results were, what was said. So I'm explaining it to him. And his face, I was fine up until I saw his face. It looked like I told him I had 6 weeks to live.
Oh,
that's when I broke. And I'm thinking, you had 6 hours to walk home and shed your face off, and it's right now you're breaking. But anyway, from there, it probably took me a few weeks, you know, to decide to take action, intentional action, to deal with what I needed to deal with. But the funny thing is, even though I was going through the motions, I still hadn't registered what I was dealing with, to the point I didn't research anything concerning it for about 9 months. But I was experiencing all the symptoms. So it took about a further 3 months before all of the symptoms started playing up, such as losing your eyesight. Even till today, I have like quadruple vision in one eye. Yeah. You lose your sense of touch. I lost my sense of balance. And I lost my mobility. I could not walk.
And was this all triggered from you having COVID, or you had dealt with some of the symptoms prior?
I do believe I had an interaction with some of the symptoms years beforehand. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, I haven't registered this scientifically or medically, but I do believe it's connected to internal trauma or lack of healing that you're dealing with.
Anything that is a physical illness definitely always comes from a spiritual place.
So I feel like I need to click. So I realized that because I registered when I last had these type symptoms. And it was at the time I was dealing with something, a very intense relationship, and we were at odds. And it was a really close relationship, and I hated it, you know. And I remember the world spinning. I remember I was coming home I was working corporately at the time. I was coming home from work, and I was bumping into people because I couldn't make out where the ground was. And I remember calling my sister, just like crying. I'm like, I think I'm having a panic attack, you know. I'm really dramatic. No one give me side eye if you're watching. But it was a lot that day, and I linked the symptoms I was feeling then back to what I was registering now. So I was like, yeah, there must be an intersection, because the trauma I was dealing with in that present moment when I got the diagnosis officially was unsettled trauma, things I hadn't dealt with, and relationships that hadn't healed, and different, you know, things. And I was like,
I haven't processed.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, it's really playing out through my body. I need to correct this. And then began my journey of spiritual healing and, internal healing. So
all that good.
Oh,
But before, let's get into a track.
One of my faves.
Before we delve down into that spiritual journey, because we
Yes.
have loads of questions for you.
You have done an extensive list for us today. The playlist, me and Kuda both agreed we are loving the tunes.
let's go.
This next one has to be my favorite, of course. This is by Queen Bee and Missy Elliott, Signs.
Let's go.
Every sign has its own mode.
Every sign has a song mode. Yes, Beyonce. This is Beyonce featuring Missy Elliott with Signs. Let's go.
They all got their different minds. The affection of a Virgo. Which sign matches with
Goes Cancer.
We've got them all in here today. Yeah, baby. So, Miss Montana, welcome and thank you for joining us and blessing us with your presence today.
Of course.
As some of the listeners may or may not know, I work in learning and development and I promote a learning culture within my company. I noticed in your Insta bio you wrote that you love to learn. But what specifically do you like to learn about?
Oh, wait. I'm a bit of a polymath. I learn everything I need to know for the season I'm in, and I take an intense approach to study. But more specifically, I've been keying in on relationships, self-realization, and more that relationship with yourself and how that reflects outwardly. I'm not sure if anyone's watching what's going on with society and relationships in society. Sweet Lord, there's not much encouragement and inspiration for the next generation, I mean, I ain't that old, baby. But there's a massive, I don't know if you guys see it yourselves, but for example, I have a junior brother. He's in his early 20s, Gen Z. I'm a geriatric millennial. So
We're not geriatric.
So that being said, but there was a massive trajectory in terms of the gap of their exposure to knowledge and information and then feeling like they've got it and they know it all versus the wisdom that they actually harness. And you see that play out in society because they don't know what to do with what they have.
Yeah.
And they're chasing everything superficial because everything is social media, glamorized or virtual. So there's no real depth to people now, and there's no real depth to relationships. And for me, the model is, if society's a wreck, it's a result of families being a wreck. If families are a wreck, it's as a result of relationships being a wreck. So we need to address the nucleus, which is the relationships, versus ourselves as well, because we are part of that relationship, So there's a lot of lack of accountability I'm seeing in society, in relationships. More predominantly the women, and you girls can speak on that today. But I see that a lot, at least as far as TV goes and the examples being set and showcased. The women are very toxic. The women are very narcissistic. There's no accountability at all. And there's a word and a term to justify every ill behavior that exists today. So I'm in the space of learning how to connect with the younger generation in a way that they understand, because they have no role models. That's what I've realized, especially the girls. Oh my gosh, OnlyFans is their hero. What on earth? I can't even fathom it. And because I've basically been in prison for the last 4 years, I mean, there was COVID, then there was this situation, rehabilitation, so I wasn't exposed to the world. So when I finally stepped out, I'm like in a crazy place. Yeah. Honestly, I'm in a crazy place. So I'm like, how do we get from there to there? It was just such a quick transition. All of a sudden, everyone needs about 7 different labels, and we become this human self-labeling database. That's what we become.
Absolutely. Self-diagnosed as well.
Yes.
On top of that.
Honestly, exactly that. And this is such a weak generation, which is nuts to me.
I'm so glad someone's coming on our show to say this stuff because as hosts, it's a bit controversial for us to say. But
it's fine for me. All right, I'm going to go ahead.
We're co-signing.
Educate the listeners.
I was trying to reel it back in. I was like, let's be calm today. Let's be nice. But no, this generation is a mess. That's the truth. It's an absolute mess. I'm scared. I used to joke before, half joke, saying I'll bring up my children half Amish. But today I'm almost 99.9% serious. Honestly, because them being exposed to what is happening today is so scary. Because who's leading who? It's like the blind leading the blind.
I was just thinking that.
It's madness to me. And I'm watching all these different podcasts and all these different shows, and the standard, and this is what to answer back to your question, I coach young girls and young people as well. We have that in common as well. But that being said, I'm so intentional about focusing on their self-worth, their self-esteem, because the way both genders rubbish themselves is as a result of them not thinking highly enough of themselves, and as a result of having no vision. This generation has no hope. That's why they're in such a state. So they lean to every vice possible to escape no hope. And there's no inspiration. I remember like when I was younger, just a few days ago, but when I was younger, it was so easy to dream. It wasn't even a question. Are you kidding me? You used to get excited about how much there was to do in life. Then when I ask young people now, what's your passion? That's usually my first question after their name. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I kind of like Instagram. What?
An influencer.
What are you influencing? Exactly. And then you're all influencing yourselves based on what?
Yeah.
So there's a few questions of which all of society is always asking themselves. And one of those questions is, what's my identity? And it's not my identity as far as what's my sexuality. That's not an identity, my love. What's my gender? That's not an identity, my love. Who are you at the core, which is registered with your values, your morale, your principles? Who are you, And then it's, where am I from? What's your source? Where do you go back to? Or where have you come from, to register your life and your place on this earth? And then it's, why are you here? Which is your purpose, which everyone is looking for, subconsciously or consciously, And all of this is playing out in society in so many different ways. It's just that it's not conscious play out. And it explains the lostness. I'm looking. I had to bear in mind, I stumbled in a bit much late. And I took Uber. Then I had to take the train because I thought that would be quicker. Then I took Uber again, as you saw. Yeah. So I was in all modes of transport today, just minus a boat. But I always register people's faces and expressions. I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive to people's energies. That's why I'm very intentional about which energies I'm around. But that being said, I'm looking at everyone. I'm like, wow, London is so miserable. How can a place be miserable? You can see people just are very lifeless. There's no life in people. Very hopeless, which is sad. And then what do the youngsters have to look up to? There's no inspiration. If it's not crime or sex or drugs or some sort of vice, to escape this all. It breaks my heart, genuinely. Hence why I'm very passionate about, making sure I speak to the hearts of the young and reminding them of their worth. There's a reason for them to be here and helping them figure that part out. Because I always believe people tend to lean into what they didn't have to end up passing that forward and giving that to other people.
Try and complete them.
Absolutely.
Fill that space.
Absolutely. And that's interlinked with your purpose as well. So where you might have gone through some sort of pain or hurt or trauma or suffering, it's linked to the kind of people you're designed to heal or help on this earth, So with that being said, I take great pleasure in learning about those things and being
au fait with understanding the minds and the culture, which I can't stand, but I do have to understand it in order to be able to connect with who I speak to on a regular basis. And relationships, you know, I'm still awaiting my king, you know.
You can't be offering yourself to somebody if you're not complete anyway. So
Hello. And with all of that being said, you have to address the internal relationship, you know. And that in itself, we may need another 4 hours for that one, but that's another segment. But yeah, you have to go through that journey. Yeah. You have to. Otherwise, you have people in relationships being like, oh, he did this, she did that. No, but what did you do?
Exactly.
And the person that you're with is always a reflection of where you're at to some degree. It may not be a complete and entire reflection, but there's a part of you that was attracted to them, not just on the physical basis. You know, there's something in you, in yourselves, that is alike for you to be drawn to yourselves, magnetized. So it's about addressing those elements as well before you now settle down with someone. So I take that part very seriously in my learning.
This is a serious talk. We are getting deep, guys. Honestly, I love it. You are definitely a breath of fresh air as well.
Thank you.
So I'm enjoying this interview, but we're going to get into another song that you selected for us, and this is Alabama Shakes with "Gimme All Your Love."
I don't think they're ready for this.
Comfortably indulgent.
Sabrina Claudio with "Confidently Lost."
I'm just an outline of what I used to be. Constantly thinking about where I've gone.
Ooh, I am loving the sensual, emotional, you know, just the elements that these tracks are bringing to the studio today. Music for meaning and healing. Myself, MSG, and my beautiful co-host, and we have the amazing Miss Montana in the building with us today. So I just wanted to know, because obviously when I first thought of having you on the show, Seb Green did mention that you're into a lot of things that I'm into as well. So was there a significant time in your life where you started to notice the synchronicities between maybe angel numbers, numerology, or just symbols and signs in general? Was there a specific time in your life where this just appeared to you?
This has been going on, I would say, since last year. I became sensitive to it, more in tune. I'm like, why am I all the time? I think it was 23, I just did not stop seeing it. It was crazy. I did not stop seeing it. And I'm like, I guess I have to pay attention to this. And I tend to be relatively observant to things, especially when they repeat, you know, like I read data of people, and when I see synchronicities like that, I pay attention to it. So I decided to look it up. I didn't know what it meant at the time. And then from there, I was like, oh, it actually does have a legit meaning, you know? And then I started being more sensitive to when I would see numbers and register what it meant. And then I learned to also recognize what you were thinking at the time to interlink with that synchronicity. And then from there, I was hooked. I was like, okay, cool. This is a business. This is something, you know? This is something. So that equally, fast forward, I would say to this year, brought me into numerology, where I started understanding the language of numbers. There's a book actually that says, let me not misquote, but you'll be able to look it up. It's millionaires study astrology, billionaires study numerology.
Ooh, yes.
You heard it here exclusively at DejaVuFM, okay?
That's the quote of the day. Millionaires study astrology. Billionaires study numerology. Yeah,
Come on, Billy. So, from there I was like, okay,
we need to study this language.
Yeah.
So I started keying in on that. And strangely enough, when you look at, I don't know if you know anything about life path numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know your
They
life
both
path
say-
number?
Yeah.
Do you know your life path number?
I do.
It is?
It is 4.
Oh, good,
However,
strong number.
comma, my birthday is 8, which I
Ooh,
very much
same.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's yours, MSG?
11.
Mine is
Really?
9.
What's the number? Really?
9, yeah.
My cousin's is 9. Oh, come on now.
Ooh.
House mates, isn't it?
Yes. So all of that being said, it just began to excite me. And I love being in tune with the energies and the flow of the universe taking place and your spirituality. Like, what's the conversation of divinity you're having inside yourself?
Yeah.
And how it plays out outwardly. And then when there's synchronicity in that, you're on the right track, or there's confirmations. Like I keep seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've been seeing that for ages. So I love when I do see that, it's confirmation I'm on the right road. I'm doing the right thing at the right time, and I've learned to recognize those kind of things. And with that being said, it elevates you because you're in tune. And it's a wonderful thing to be in tune in a world where everything is drawing us away from ourselves and outside of ourselves. And look at me, look at that. Everything is vying for our attention all the time. If you are able to spend moments with yourself and sit in silence of any kind, it's true.
Me and MSG, we sit in so much silence by ourselves.
You are a G.
Yeah, we are.
How
our
about
best
that?
company.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that, girl. I love that. I really do, because very few people know how to do that. And when I tell you, I love me.
Yeah.
I'm my favorite person.
Yeah.
I'm my second favorite. My husband's my first. I haven't met him yet.
Okay.
So
Manifestations.
We're gonna manifest it today.
Yes, girl.
But that being said, you have to love yourself. You have to love your company. If you can't spend time with yourself, why should anyone else?
Exactly.
I can't stand people who I've had so many people who just want me around. Why? Like, I have a good time by myself. Do you know what I mean?
They want to draw your energy. They are psychological vampires.
Hello.
Stay far away.
Click, clickety click.
Yes.
Come on. So, with all of that being said, I'm like, let's protect that energy. Let's pay attention to the conversation Most High is having with myself, and, be more sensitive to that dialogue and keep that going.
I agree. We're dropping some bombs today, okay?
Literally.
Absolute bombs.
Literally. I think we should get into our next track. Must I say thank you, actually, for the songs that you sent in for us, because honestly, I know you sent in a lot of songs, and I feel like we're going to have to shortlist them even more, because we've literally got 20 minutes left of the show.
That's all right, my
we
love.
definitely have to do a part 2 with you.
Yeah, I'm going to do a whole 2-hour show.
Yeah.
So we can get as much content.
Let's do it.
Pick your brain as much as possible. It's a beautiful brain.
Oh, bless you, babe.
Definitely. We're going to get into another one by Burna Boy with On the Low.
Let's go. Bring out your hips.
Ooh.
It's Kelpie Vibes.
Yeah. Angelina, you been cooling my temperature.
Hey, we got techno. Pan up. Yeah, let's go.
For like you give me love, oh. I see me fall. For like you give me love, oh.
Wow. We are having high-level conversations today in the Deja Vu studio with Miss Montana. So, we've spoken quite deeply about spiritualism and stuff like that. But can you tell me what sparked your interest in music?
I think I was born with music in my DNA. When I think about it, even school, I was known for singing before my name was known. Yeah, that's why, like, we said we're gonna part two this because it was a whole journey.
Yeah. Too much to talk about.
Yeah, it was a whole journey. But in terms of what sparked that, my mum threw me into stage school. I went to Sylvia Young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you would believe this now, no one ever does, but I was excruciatingly shy as a kid. Excruciatingly shy. The only class that I actually felt I could be myself, and maybe because you could hide behind an avatar, was the drama class. But I did dance, I did music, and I loved music so much, but I was just so shy. So I didn't really know how to express it except for my little studio, my little corner of my little room, and I would just learn to make my own beats and everything. So actually, when you gave me that project of creating the playlist, and I had to pull out the hard drive, Lord have mercy, I stumbled across almost 300 tracks on one hard drive. Yeah.
Wow. Share that with us, please.
I still have to go through it myself, and I'm listening to her. It didn't even feel like
Moments
me.
of your life.
It was so weird. So if I didn't know that I wrote those songs and I made them, I would feel like I'm listening to someone else because I haven't sung for so long. So I'm like, her voice is so beautiful. I wish she had someone to kind of tell her that or make her believe that at the time, because I didn't, which is, again, back to, the youngsters I coach and whatnot. I'm so passionate about that because having someone to believe in you can change the complete trajectory of your life. And my voice was gorgeous,
It is gorgeous.
Thank you. So rusty in the pipes, we need a bit of... But so that being said anyway, I used to just write songs. I had this little recording machine. Then my godfather upgraded it and got me another one where you put tapes in. We're not that old, guys.
I know.
It sounds so old, so vintage, but those were the good days.
Okay, let's just put that straight.
The good old days, so the good young days. So, but that being said, I would record myself and I would record these songs and everything and pack them up. So music was always being played in the household. Music was always being played in the car. Music was just always a thing, even on Spotify. I put playlists together, I put playlists together for scripts I write. I put playlists together just for music in general because I just love it. But I call on Spotify, it'll be life soundtracks with an X, because everything had a soundtrack, everything. So when I put things into playlists, there's always a soundtrack for what I'm going through, what this means, what this is, season.
That's actually therapy.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's my love language, it's one of them. So I speak through music. I love when people speak to me through music, I love that. So that's kind of how it came into play. I was always confident with myself, by myself. In front of people, I need the ground to swallow me, But with myself, I was always very comfortable, very confident, very in my own space. And
so how did you transition from being shy to being confident?
I was just thinking that as well.
Because you're the person who sits in front of us is very confident.
Yeah.
You speak very well.
Thank you.
Like you said, most people don't believe me when I say that I was shy. I don't believe you because of who you are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I get you.
The person
it's
that you are,
unbelievable.
it's unbelievable. Like, how did you grow that much?
It was twofold. So one side of the candlestick, dare I use that analogy, but one side of it was my mother. She is the polarized version of myself. I'm an introvert. I come across as an extrovert. I always say to people, if you meet me outside, you'll think I'm an extrovert because I spend half the year charging. But my mother, she is the antithesis. She is full-blown extrovert. And with that being said, she always used to push me into things I was never prepared for, whether it was an audition, whether it was singing at someone's birthday party that no one asked me to do. Or I promise you, I wanted to die. Honest, oh my gosh. She's a professional at that, Or, oh, Tanya's going to make a speech. What? when did we discuss this? So I was always being thrown into those moments.
So I learned to quickly become comfortable with the unpredictability of different situations and learning to improvise. So hence why one of my good friends, Fifi, shout out to Fifi, she's always like, you always know what to say. Even if you're not prepared, I'm not prepared, you just always have the words. And I truly do. And I can't even take credit for it. I just, I always say, God, give me the mouth and wisdom. Because if I don't know what to say, just give me the mouth and wisdom. Because I don't always know what to say, But I guess part of it is that residue from just being always subconsciously prepared,
Expect the unexpected.
Absolutely. So there's that part. And then I realized as the dots, I think it's Steve Jobs that said it. I'm completely misquoting this, or paraphrasing. But he said, if you connect the dots of your life, looking backwards, everything makes sense, So when I do so, when I have been doing so, everything in my life makes sense towards my purpose, what I'm supposed to do. I'm meant to speak. I'm meant to be on a platform. I'm meant to be outward leaning. So I therefore have to challenge myself and push myself. And I'm that way inclined as well. I don't let fear, I fight fear. I never cower down to anything. The more scared I am, the more I have to do it. I don't know why I'm like that, but I have to. I'm that way inclined. So even down to my legs, I would wear heels. I wore heels about 3 weeks ago. Was I prepared? Absolutely not. I would not like to say it was stupid, but it was definitely close enough to, But I'm like, no, I'm getting back to my heels. When I wrote down in this situation when I could not walk, I said, I'm not going to be able to walk. I'm going to be able to strut. That was my aim. No.
Straight to the highest point.
No. And
even if you come short, you still
hello. Shoot for the moon, you might land upon the stars. Yeah. So I always used to wear heels. I know I'm tall, but I love them. I love the femininity. I love that, So I never used to wear flats, to the point where up until maybe like last year, everybody else had bought me my sneakers because I never bought sneakers. I never wore flats, So I said, that is me. My wardrobe doesn't make sense without heels, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I said, I have to push myself. I'm just that kind of person. I will jump in the deep end rather than the shallow end if I don't know how to swim. So, same thing came about with the confidence. I would sign up to situations I wasn't prepared for, or just say yes without knowing I'm pissy scared. I'm so scared, but I'm doing it. Once I say yes, and my word is my bond, that I believe in integrity very much so. I really value that. So if I said yes, I'm doing it. That's it, So from that, you do that enough times, you start to strengthen that muscle.
Absolutely.
And that's what I also teach, that confidence is a muscle. You have to keep doing things.
It is, and you actually create neuronal pathways in your mind
and
your brain.
There you go.
Make sure that when these situations happen, that's basically what your mum did. She created that pathway in your mind. That
don't give her too much credit.
No matter what situation you're thrown into, you can handle it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry we have to cut this because I could sit here and talk to you all day.
We
have got like 4 minutes left.
So we can get into it.
Let's get into one more track. What is this one called?
Chris Breezy with Young Fuck Go Crazy.
Let's go.
Oh, is that Canyon again?
Lead up, got me thinking, babe.
What a wonderful show that we have had today. It has been absolutely amazing. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you to Miss Montana for joining us and dropping some amazing gems, educational information, as well as spiritual. And we have to do a part 2 with Miss Montana because we need to pick her brain. It is too powerful to not get inside that. So, as you guys know, we have an event next Saturday. It is a ladies only event. It's ladies only DJs. All the money is going to go to a charity, and myself and MSG will be hosting the event. We'll be bringing you the vibes. We'll be bringing you the energy as we do. So, I have been Kuda London. My amazing co-host,
MSG.
And thank you so much to
Miss Montana
for joining us today.
Do you have any shout outs that you'd like to do before we leave?
Shout out to Leash, lovely Leash, my sister-in-law. Shout out to Fifi, shout out to Sam, an amazing human being. He's taken me through a lot of this journey at the beginning.
Shout out, Sam.
Yeah. Whoever I'm missing, shout out to my brothers listening, or should be. Whoever is listening, I appreciate it. I'll speak to you soon.
And same for us, those who have been in the chat and those of you that are listening back via our podcast, thank you so much. This is the Music with Meaning and Healing show. We are here every Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m, bringing you the vibes, bringing you the energy. And yeah, the tune that we're going to play out is
Essence by Wiz.
One of my faves. Let's go. Enjoy your Saturday, guys.
DejaVuFM. Best music.
You are listening to Deja Vu. You're listening to Deja Vu. You're listening to Deja.
Then I made it mess up my mind, and I made it make you.
Is not in the building. She's on the Death Star at the moment. Slapping up Lord Darth Vader.